Have you ever looked at, our economy? GDP's climbing. Things look pretty healthy on paper, but then you stop and think, where are all the jobs? The ones that should be popping up with this kind of growth. That's a bit of a head scratcher,
It
right?
absolutely is. It's one of those disconnects where the traditional indicators, they don't seem to tell the whole story anymore.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. We've got this economic analysis. It's titled AI's Invisible Hand, The Vanishing Jobs of 2025.
Yeah.
And it gives this really detailed look at how artificial intelligence is becoming this unseen force quietly reshaping the U.S. job market.
Yeah.
This is based on data right up to mid-2025.
Yeah. And our goal here, our mission for this deep dive is really to unpack that analysis. We want to pull out the crucial insights for you,
Right.
help you understand the surprising scale and the nature of how AI is impacting jobs. It goes way beyond the official headlines.
It really does. And what jumps out immediately, like right from the get-go in this analysis, is this huge discrepancy in the numbers.
Yep.
You see the official figures, right? Acknowledged AI-related layoffs, maybe 10,000, perhaps up to 50,000. Pretty small, relatively speaking.
Seems manageable on the surface.
Then maybe some industry reports push it a bit higher, say 80,000 to 100,000 jobs lost to AI this year, 2025. Still not astronomical.
Still doesn't sound like a crisis.
But here's the kicker. The author's estimate, looking at the data through July 2025, they're pointing to something like 300,000 to 500,000 jobs that are just missing.
Wow.
Missing. Yeah. Many never even got posted. They were just quietly replaced, or the need for them was eliminated by AI systems before a hiring process even began.
So it's not just layoffs we should be tracking. It's the jobs that never materialized.
Precisely. It's like this silent digital reorganization happening under the surface. That's the invisible hand the title talks about, not Adam Smith's market, but AI quietly steering where jobs don't appear.
So how do they even spot these? If a job never existed on paper, how do you count it as lost or missing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. The author's methodology is pretty interesting. It borrows from work by MIT economist David Otter, who looked at manufacturing job losses in the past.
Okay, so how does that apply here with AI?
Well, the core idea is you compare a sector's economic output, how much stuff it's producing or services it's delivering, with its total workforce headcount, or more specifically, the total hours worked by humans in that sector.
Right.
So if output is going up, the sector's doing more business, but the total human hours worked are flat or even falling.
Then something else must be picking up the slack.
Exactly. That's a very strong signal that automation, and in this current context, very likely AI, is stepping in and replacing that human labor component. You're getting more efficient, but not by hiring more people.
Okay, that makes sense. But couldn't that just be, companies getting smarter, leaner operations, better management? How do you know it's AI specifically?
That's a fair point. And that's where you need to look at the specific economic signals together. The analysis points to some really telling data for Q2 2025.
All right, let's hear them.
Okay, so first, GDP growth was pretty healthy, positive 3%,
Good sign, usually.
usually. But then, look at aggregate weekly hours worked by people across the economy. They actually decreased by 0.3%,
Huh. Down while GDP is up?
down while GDP is up. And add to that, corporate profits are near record highs, about 11, maybe 12% of GDP.
Okay.
And at the same time, overall payroll costs, they're down about 1%.
Wow. Okay, so putting that all together, growth is up, profits are way up, but hours worked and payroll costs are slightly down.
Precisely. Companies are making more, earning more,
Yeah.
but with fewer human work hours and slightly lower labor costs overall.
That paints a pretty clear picture, doesn't it? It really does suggest it's not just like leftover pandemic weirdness or simple belt tightening. It points much more strongly towards automation-driven efficiency.
Yeah, the conclusion is that automation, primarily AI-driven automation now, is the most significant factor explaining that combination of trends.
Okay, so if we're talking hundreds of thousands of these missing jobs, where did the people who would have filled them? Where did they go? They're not all suddenly showing up as unemployed, are they?
That's another key finding. They aren't necessarily swelling the main unemployment numbers you see on the news,
Why not?
because many have simply dropped out of the labor force. They're not actively looking for work, so they don't get counted in the headline unemployment rate.
Okay.
The analysis highlights this. Look at marginally attached workers, people who want a job but haven't looked recently. That number went from about 1.5 million up to 1.8 million. That's an increase of roughly 300,000.
Okay, significant jump.
And then look at discouraged workers, a subset of the marginally attached who've specifically given up looking because they believe no jobs are available for them. That number jumped from around 370,000 to nearly 640,000.
Whoa, that's a huge jump, an increase of over 250,000 there.
Yeah, a really big increase. So you add those increases together, and you're starting to see numbers that align with that estimate of missing jobs.
So these are people who basically threw in the towel, maybe because the jobs they knew how to do vanished, or the new jobs require completely different skills, maybe AI-related skills they don't have.
That's exactly the interpretation. The landscape changed under their feet, the opportunities dried up for their specific skill set, and they stopped searching. It's a hidden effect the main unemployment rate just doesn't capture.
It makes you think about how we even define unemployment.
It really does.
So it's often not the big dramatic layoff announcement we see in the news. It's quieter.
Much quieter. The analysis uses the term job evaporation.
Evaporation? I like that.
Yeah, it describes those roles where someone quits or they retire or maybe they are let go for some unrelated reason and the position just isn't refilled.
Because an AI system maybe gradually, maybe suddenly has absorbed those tasks.
Exactly. It's absorbed the responsibilities. It's this silent churn, this steady erosion of certain types of human roles that doesn't make headlines like a factory closure does. It's much harder to see.
And this leads directly to this concept the author mentions, the great decoupling. Tell us about that.
Right, the great decoupling. This describes the phenomenon where economic growth and corporate profits, they keep going up, but they become increasingly disconnected from or decoupled from human labor employment.
So companies can succeed, even thrive, without necessarily needing more people, or even needing the same number of people.
That's the core idea. It's presented as a key feature of what the author calls post-labor economics.
Post-labor economics, that sounds profound.
It is. It suggests a fundamental shift where the traditional link between economic value creation and human work is weakening, being replaced by technology-driven productivity.
Okay, let's put this in a bit more context. Because overall employment is still going up, right? Slowly.
That's true, and it's important context. Total U.S. employment as of June 2025 was around 159.7 million. And yes, it is still slowly climbing overall.
So it's not like jobs are disappearing entirely across the board.
No, not yet. But you have to look at the participation rates, the broader trends. The labor force participation rate, the share of the population working or looking for work, tells a more nuanced story.
Okay.
It hit a low during the pandemic, around 61.5%. Then it recovered, peaked at about 62.6% post-pandemic.
Right.
But now it's actually ticking down again, back to around 62.3%.
Slipping back.
And similarly, the employment to population ratio, just the share of the total population that has a job that peaked at 60.3% in 2023. Now it's down to 59.7%.
So even though total job numbers are inching up, a smaller percentage of the population is actually working or even looking for work.
Exactly. Now, some of that is demographics, baby boomer retirement, sure.
Of course.
But the analysis argues that when you see this happening alongside record profits and rising productivity, it strongly suggests that automation and AI are playing a bigger role in these declines than just retirements alone. The efficiency gains are outpacing the need for human workers in many areas.
So if we boil this all down, the main takeaway isn't just AI takes some jobs. It's more subtle, more pervasive.
Much more. It's that AI is silently erasing the need for hundreds of thousands of jobs, often before they even get listed. It happens through not refilling positions, through designing workflows around AI from the start, reducing overall hiring needs.
It's a fundamental erosion of human labor's role in certain parts of the economy.
Yes. And the analysis concludes this is accelerating that transition to post-labor economics, where economic growth becomes increasingly independent of growing human employment.
Wow. Okay, so this deep dive really has pulled back the curtain, hasn't it? Showing how AI's impact is just far bigger and quieter than the official number suggests. It's a major, if often unseen, transformation.
Absolutely. And understanding these underlying currents, these shifts happening beneath the surface, it's crucial for you, for everyone, trying to navigate this changing world. It's not just about job stats. It's about the future of work itself.
Which really leaves us with a big question to ponder, doesn't it? If economic growth, if corporate success becomes less and less dependent on lots of human jobs, what does that mean for us? for society, for education, for, the whole concept of what work even is. What does a post-labor economy actually look like in practice? Something to think about.